Yo. What up, chat? What up, gang? What up, fellas? How's everyone doing today? Let's take off the thingamabob. What do people think of the background, by the way? Do we like this background? I love this background so much, man. I really do. Eternal Flame? Is that the Eternal Flame? What up, Dole? It's always quiet. My mic is low? Let me turn on my mic. Alright, how about now? How about now? How's my mic now? Mic just might be a little weird because I'm not like staring right at it too. How's the mic, everyone? How's it sound? Damn, it is the Eternal Flame. Why did I not sub to you? Alright, sub. What up, Eternal Flame? Oh, it's because I'm on my main YouTube account. How's everyone doing this fine day? How we all doing? You just watched this a few hours ago? It's still a bit quiet, really? It's still quiet. How about now? I just don't want y'all to like hear everything that's going on in like the background of my house. Dole, turn up your like actual like YouTube audio, dude. Just chilling? Word. Zico said, yeah, so we're gonna be reacting to this. I have to turn it up to 70%. Crank it up. Crank it up, man. I have no clue. Yeah, Dole, you're tripping. Everyone says it's good. You're tripping out. Alright, I'm going to try to share this around before we get started. Anything interesting, so if anyone just wants to chat or ask any questions, feel free. Now's the time. Now's the time. This will probably be a pretty long live stream, to be honest. So, probably a couple hours today. So, you know. Maybe I set the dono goal too high. Nah. JJJJ. Yes, I did start reading Kengan. I'm on about chapter 40 of Kengan Ashura. I wanted to do Kengan first because the thing is that eventually when I go back to like do extra, because right now I'm just like reading it, I'm just like reading it and kind of enjoying it, and when if I like try to power scale off the dome like instantly, obviously I'm still, I'm a power scaler at heart, so like when I'm watching anything I'm like, oh dang, okay, so this guy's stronger than that guy can do that, that guy can do that. but eventually I'm gonna need to go back and like do in-depth research. And so right now I'm just reading it to absorb the knowledge. But the thing is that I want to read it so I can like process the information as I read Baki, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to reread Baki. So I'm reading Kengan to like absorb the basic information. Then I'm gonna read Baki, and my friend Dole is gonna read everything with me so we can like discuss things. Um, so while I'm reading Baki, I'll be able to think like, oh, okay, so then like that feat is like that feat, and then when I'm done, I can go back and like add everything up, like put all the puzzle pieces together in my second read, because I can't do that because if I read Baki first, then I'm gonna like read Baki and be like, all right, I'm done. Then I'm gonna read Kengan, and then I'll be like, well, I don't want to read Kengan again right after I just finished it, you know? Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, like, yeah, you always gotta enjoy something before you hardcore power scale it. But the thing is that like when you're like a power scaler, especially on YouTube or just in general, I guess maybe not just on YouTube. Well, I feel like I got this way more when I started doing YouTube. But when you watch or read anything, you kind of intuitively power scale it, even if it's not to like the most absurd degree. Like I'm not watching some guy like crack a stone right from the start of the series and like I'm like is that a building, is that a straight level or a wall level, you know? But like I am like, okay, this guy's stronger than that guy can do that guy can do this guy is probably this level, but you get the idea. Because I am for sure gonna do I'm for sure gonna do Oma versus Baki. Who's my current fave so far? Um, of the fighters. Mm, oh, sorry, I'm ignoring other questions. Anime Monarch, you are Gon and Killua jumping each member? Yes, they are. I believe so. I haven't seen this video in a long time. Prof, Hero Hunter Garo versus Wank Sukuna. Wank Sukuna annihilates him. You say Monster Bakugan scales to Bug on a row. Ripper since Koketsu thought he was a disaster level dragon monster, and monsterization ranks are monsters on power. It's possible. It just depends on how much credit you give Goketsu's word. Are they jumping each member, but only if it's only if they're jumping each member? But it's only. Oh, it's only base and base? Really? Oh, I thought like Godspeed was involved. I figured it wasn't Adult Gon for obvious reasons, but I thought like maybe Godspeed would be involved. All right, I need to share this around. Try to get a couple people in here. What's the weakest version of Garo that definitively beats Wanked Sukuna? When you say like Wanked Sukuna, do you mean like ultra mega highballed Sukuna or like a reasonable highball of his power? What's your opinion on webcomic Amai power wise? At full power, I think he might be above webcomic Bing IMO. Um, hmm, above webcomic Bang. Oh, yeah, I think that's fine. I actually have a script where I rank the S class heroes in the webcomic, and I think they're pretty close to each other. So putting him above is like okay. Though it is a little weird, just because of my mask's exact like AP attack potency is not as concrete in the webcomic compared to his speed. He's got very good speed, but his attack potency is less clear. But I'll need to go back and check for sure before I make that video. Mm-hmm. Reasonable highball Sukuna versus Hero Hunter Garo, or any version of Garo. So reasonable highball Sukuna. Okay, you'd have like island level because of domain expansions. Maybe like like small country level. Maybe small country level. Um, because of like a calc for Gojo's earthquake. We could just take that seriously because it's consistent with like island level for Dagon and Jogo, and Sukuna's way above them, so he would at least be like island to small country level. Then speed, you take the light speed feats seriously, which they're not really that bad to begin with. And you say that Sukuna's a couple times faster than light, while he's even weakened. So like maybe Sukuna is somewhere between 1 to 10 times the speed of light. I'm kind of just like generalizing because I don't know what the calculations say exactly. So you have like an island small country level guy versus somebody who's 1 to 10 times faster than light. I think that you would need probably Garo on the probably the Garo that fought Bang. For consistently, Gojo also has an island level feat, yeah. What up? Hey there. My favorite character is probably, I'm trying to think. I really liked the wrestler guy. I'm still only on chapter 40. I really liked the wrestler. I like the guy that replaced Oma for the company's team. I'm still like a little like so with the names because most characters, especially like in those like late 30s chapters, a lot of characters get introduced without like doing anything. It's kind of the same thing that Baki did when it had its tournament arc, where they just introduced 1,000 characters without having them do anything yet, and then like they got whittled down until like we had a core group of 10. Hatsumi, I think so. Sounds about right. Would if the entire Feitan Troupe jumped adult Gon would be an interesting idea for a video? I think it's pretty clear cut, to be honest. I don't think it's close enough. We'll see you later, Eternal Fame. Feel free to tune back in because we'll be reacting pretty soon. I just want to share this around. Really hoping we can get some more people in here. Dokkan punched a hole in postmortem. Yeah. Like, there's no way you can prove that any member of the Phantom Troop is more durable than Pito. It's absolutely impossible. You should do an equal stats bit at the end for the video. Oh yeah, I am. I'm gonna do like their power scaling and then like compare their skill level. Well, what I'll do is I think I'm gonna divide the video into sections and be like, who's got better attack potency, who's got better speed, and then who's got better skill, and then like consider it all together. No, you can't join because you don't know Hunter x Hunter. We're doing a Hunter x Hunter reaction. I said you can join after. Why do you want to join if you're just going to be quiet, though? Is Postmortem then Pito in the same tier but below pre-Rose Merom? I don't think so. Alright, yeah, you can join. No, 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 no. We'll start a private call and then we can move over to the group chat if anyone else wants to join. But I don't want people to just I don't want Shattered or Skinny to randomly join in the middle of the convo. I figured Dolgon would have trouble dealing with the Phantom Troops hacks once considering he doesn't have any notable hacks himself. Yeah, but like what hacks do they really have? Cuz like let's be honest, it's like um like okay, Shalnark can control you with a needle. Um that's not going to work because it's not going to penetrate Gon's aura. Um Feitan can direct pain back at you. That's not going to work because Gon's going to one-shot him. Finks can wind up his punch a million times, and that's not going to matter because Gon can punch harder than Finks' winded up punch. What else? What else? What other hacks do they even have? Crollo has some abilities, but that doesn't matter because he's gonna get blitzed and one shot. You know, like unfortunately, like if we were talking about the Royal Guards, then like maybe hacks is a something to consider. But like Gon is just so powerful and so fast, it just doesn't matter. Pito did rip off Gon's arm, but you can argue he was off guard. He also let it happen. Gon literally let it happen on purpose. Pito seems like the strongest of the Royal Guard. That's the impression I got. Not the physically strongest, but the one who would win in a fight kind of strongest. It is actually confirmed that Pito is the strongest, even in their base forms. It's confirmed in the guides and in the manga. Both guides, to be precise. Would you be reading Kengan Omega for vid? It's continuous? Yeah, I will. Yes, I will. Oh, hold up. You're not, they can't hear you just yet. I'm gonna make it so they can hear you right now. All right, Dole, you are live now.
Hello. But yeah, Kengan Omega is still ongoing as well right now.
Ongoing.
It's almost
Yeah.
at chapter 3. Almost at chapter 300.
For real? Oh my god, I didn't know it was that long.
It's not that bad of a read.
Oh, that's wild. The Kengan Ashura chapters are pretty long. I'm gonna be honest.
They are long, but like the Omega chapters, I think get shorter. I'm gonna be trying to make a fight list as I reread rather. So you could go back and check.
All right. I feel like this is gonna be without
Because
a Dokkan because he slams easily. Yeah, no, I'm fairly sure they don't include a Dokkan.
How many people in Hunter have greater speed feats than Godspeed Killua? Isn't Godspeed Killua like the 5th fastest character or something?
The only other people that are up there are Dolgon, Netero, maybe Meruem. Yeah, that's about it.
So pretty much like the 4th fastest character.
Yeah, something like that.
His main problem was like AP, basically.
AP and stamina. Godspeed has a short activation period.
Could 5 Godspeed Killuas with infinite stamina beat B2?
Yes.
Okay.
It's at chapter 299. God damn.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's pretty long.
But so yeah, while I read it, I kind of like the first time I read anything, I kind of just casually absorb the information, and then the second time I'll go in and like cherry pick like very specific things, like this character is stated to be able to do this, All right, take some notes. This character, stuff like that. Grizzly Bear versus Dole and Prof, 3 times stronger than base? What do you think, Dole? I think we could take a
Grizzly Bear versus Dole and Prof were 3 times stronger. I feel like we would win that, right? 3 times.
You think
Hold on.
Grizzly Bear's only 3 times stronger than a normal person?
Yeah, but we're also 3 times faster. Okay, according to Google, a grizzly bear is 2.5 to 5 times stronger than a human. So I'm assuming 2.5 times is like a smaller grizzly bear, and 5 times is like a fully grown grizzly bear. So it would still be like comparably strong, if not stronger than us. But like we are 3 times as faster while not being in like a completely incomparable weight class.
No,
So I feel like we win
he
that.
only said 3 times stronger. He didn't say 3 times faster.
3 times stronger than base.
Yeah.
Do you mean just 3 times stronger? Because if you're not including speed, then like, actually, I guess we could still win that. Like if it's a 2v1, I think we could win that.
I don't know, man. You also got bear
No,
resistant gear.
it's all stats.
Oh, okay. Then maybe we take it. I think maybe we could
Oh,
take
we
that
win
one.
that. If we're wearing like armor, then like, you know. Wait, does bear resistance like gear include like bear spray? Yeah, I feel like we got that. Especially because our punches would have like very small surface area, which is good for us, honestly.
All right, Dole. We are gonna start watching the video now. So your input from this point forward is going to be negligible to none. But
Whatever.
we're gonna stay live. Wait.
Yes.
Oh snap! I messed up the goal. Let's remove goal. Messed up the goal. Let's fix the goal now. No, not start a poll. I messed up the goal. I made it only last for 30 minutes. Let's make it last for 3 hours. So 20 super chats of $5 or more. Or no, 50 super chats of $2 or more, and we'll react to another video. There we go. Dole, do you remember that one guy that used to make like the Saitama like highball videos, or he would react to people that downplayed Saitama? Like he would be recording on his iPhone.
Like
He'd be recording.
Give up, right? Like,
the one that reacted to me and Cell's video.
Yeah, I remember him. I forget his name, but I remember him.
Yeah, I just remembered him earlier for no reason. I don't remember why.
That's funny.
All right. It's time to start watching this. So Satori and I are good buddies. I'm not gonna be mean here. As usual, some like debate goon mentality might come out a little bit, but like I think that Satori is mostly gonna say correct stuff anyway. So no reason for me to be mean. But I'm gonna try not to be mean or say any debate goony stuff. Go show Satori some support. This video should have way more views. He should also have way more subs. So go show my boy some props. And let's watch this. Actually, before we get started, I need to know how the volume sounds for you guys. So I'm gonna play it for a couple seconds and then let me know how the volume sounds.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another random video on the internet. And today we have a special guest on the channel, Eternal Flame.
Yo, what's good, Eternal Flame here?
So how does it sound? How's it sound, everybody? Does it sound alright? I'm also gonna be drinking my protein milk because I went to the gym earlier. Oh, I missed this.
I just realized it's funny that
What?
that both you and Satori have edited versions of like members of the Akatsuki as your profile pictures. That's funny.
Well, his is more like
Just thought of that.
his is like light, not light.
It's like it's L
edited to be a Phantom. An Akatsuki member. And mine is an Akatsuki member, edited to be a scholarly professor. So
the outfit Satori uses is Itachi's, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. All right, it's a little low. I turned it up a little bit. Let's see now.
Hello
Video's
everyone,
40
and
minutes.
welcome
Yeah, I
to
know.
another random
Goodness.
video on the internet.
Okay, I love Satori, but man, does he make long videos.
He
makes
does make really long videos.
Man.
Like his Bang
And
versus
today-
Goldeness video was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We have a special
How
guest
does-
on the channel.
how's it sound now,
Eternal
everybody?
Flame.
Yo, what's good, Eternal Flame here? I like to talk about Hunter x Hunter. What's good?
So we're gonna be talking about Hunter.
How's it sound, everybody? Volume good? Is the volume okay? His videos, what I play when I'm doing homework and droning out, and the audio is fine now. Audio's good. Let's put on a little background music too. I'm not gonna play it during the video, obviously, but I just want to have it ready.
Also, the goal is 50 super chats for another video.
Could be a little louder, but it's good. Yeah, so it's 50 super chats of I think like $1.99 or $2 or more. I tried to that's the lowest I'm allowed to set it to. Could be a little louder. I'll turn it up a little bit. Could I do an outsmart the Akatsuki video? I'm not that well versed on Death Note, to be honest. Who's the strongest Hunter x Hunter
Who's the
character Crollo
strongest
with
Hunter x Hunter?
all of the Phantom Troupe's abilities beating? If he has prep, then like Yuppie.
He's Yuppie's one of the royal guards, right?
Yeah. Like the thing is that
He's
Yuppie's
the
stupid.
butterfly guy, right?
No, the butterfly guy is a shy poof.
Oh, okay. Get down, Mel's the
Your
guard.
health
It's
is your
poison
biggest
fatigue, human
asset.
Garo. That's so real.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if people want to rep like Rory Boss or Gyarugan ship above human Garo, I think that's fine.
But
I
not
disagree
Malphite.
with it, but I think that's fine. You can just never rep Melzigard.
Yeah.
I'll accept either of the generals being above human Garo, just never Melzigard, because he's not.
Adam Hunt, we'll still be talking about One Punch Man, but like this first part of the stream is going to be about Hunter x Hunter. But so like you can still ask me stuff about One Punch Man, and we can go over it. All right, that's some background music ready for later. All right, chat. It's time. We're gonna start reacting to this. All right, so this is Gon and Killua versus every Phantom Troupe member. Who could they beat? By Satori and Eternal Flame. So let us begin.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another random video.
I forgot. I need to turn this on to like 1.5 speed. Because otherwise I'll be here all day. That thumbnail is so funny. Yeah, I know. What makes you think Garo is above the generals? Really, really bad feats. Not just bad feats, but like really bad anti-feats. Like he seriously like could not even beat Purry Purry Prisoner or Base Metal Bat. Like, come on, man. Come on, buddy.
Go on the internet. And today we have a special guest on the channel, Eternal Flame.
Yo, what's good, Eternal Flame here? I like to talk about Hunter x Hunter. What's good?
So we're going to be talking about Hunter x Hunter, like you said. And today's matchup is going to be one that I think is pretty interesting. The Phantom Troupe versus the main characters of the show, Gon and Killua. So we're going to be having those two run a Phantom Troupe gauntlet, where they basically, as a duo, face off against each member. And we'll see how...
So it is the two of them jumping each member. Now that is important, I believe. That is important. Because I think that for certain members, the fights are close enough where it being a 2v... having a 2v1, especially with these two, is kind of a big deal, I think. Especially because Killua can paralyze people to leave them open for Gon's Jonken. And, like, there aren't that many people in the series that are taking an off-guard Jonken. Or Jonken, you know. There really aren't that many. So I'm curious what they have to say.
Oh, they would stack up against this group, you know, the Akatsuki.
And they do that in character, by the way. They did that against Ramot.
Hunter x Hunter versus the protagonist. It's a pretty clear narrative. Oh yeah, that's what they are. First of all, I think we should establish why this is actually a fight. Because many people will immediately say that the Phantom Troupe is just a lot more experienced. By default, they, like, win. Maybe, you know, some of the lower members might
You know what?
beat
I'm going to turn it down to 1.25. So that process things a little better.
Stomp Gon and Killua. So I think we should go over how much stronger Gon and Killua actually get after York Mew before we hop into the matchups.
So Gon and Killua will get an insane amount stronger after Yorknu, because after Yorknu they just start training a lot in both Greed Island and the Chimera Antark. And I'll let you start with Greed Island and just show how much of a difference there is between Greed Island in the start for them and in the end.
Yeah, so at the start, they both struggle with like D or C tier cards. They can't catch those like weird, those like weird fur monsters. They can't catch them at all. And then they do some training. They're able to catch them like
This is all true.
very easily.
JJJJ in here with the $20. Thank you as always, JJJJ. Unleash your debate goon. I don't know if I'm going to have to, because I feel like, from what I remember from Satori's videos, he's a bit more debate goony than I am. From what I remember. Not that like what up?
I was just say, I would be inclined to agree with the way he portrays his argument for Sage Centipede, you know?
Mm-hmm. Now, not that that's a bad thing, and not that he is like a debate goon or that's a whatever, you know? But I think he does get more into like power scaling jargon than I do. Especially like
he did do that in his sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say in his like how strong is One Punch Man video, he's throwing around like one shot multiplications and stuff, which you know it's a very like power scaly type of thing to do.
Same thing with like his Bang versus Goldeness video, which like I mean like discussing whether or not Garo got strong inherent like requires you to delve into like minute details that the average reader wouldn't, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I think that's a little. No, that is debate goony. Yeah, can't even lie. What in your opinion is the multiplier for a speed blitz? Do you mean like when you say speed blitz? Do you mean moving so fast that someone can't counter? Moving so fast that they like physically can't react? Moving so fast they can't see? Because a speed blitz depends on a lot of factors. For one, distance, you know, like can I speed blitz you from a mile away, or can I only speed blitz you from 10 meters away? And like if it's 11 meters, then you have enough time to react. So, you know, there's too many factors go into it. You can look up very understandable metrics, like, okay, how fast does it take a human being to react? 0.1 seconds. It takes a character moves 1 meter before I react. So they moved 1 meter in less than 0.1 seconds. Therefore, they are this fast. You know, there's very basic things to calculate that. Moving so fast they can't see.
I think it also
react from 10 meters? I don't know. You're gonna have to. You're unfortunately gonna have to like do the math yourself there. I don't know.
One more thing before you don't pause the video. I think it's also important to try and figure out whether a feat like a speed feat is a speed blitz, or if it's just like an instance of two characters of relative speed tagging one another, because there is a big difference there.
Yeah.
And I've made that mistake before. So
Isn't the one shot multiplier 7 times and is the one shot and speed blitz multiplier the same? No, not at all. All right, let's keep going.
They also struggle with injured Beanault, you know, the scissor guy that most people have probably forgotten by now. But they struggle with an injured Beanault. Killua gets one of his eyes ripped out. Well, almost. Not quite, but almost gets one of his eyes ripped out. And then by the end of their training, which is like a week time, like they train for like a week with him, and by the end, they're able to casually just outpace and outspeed a fully healthy Beanault who has rested up. So it's pretty clear that already there's like a massive difference there. Then they train with Bisky, they learn Ko, they learn all these Nen techniques, they learn how to maintain their Nen for longer periods of time. They get insanely stronger just from that. And then, at the end of the arc, they face off against Genthru, and Genthru was someone who they were, like, said that Gon and Killua just stood no chance against at all at the beginning of the arc. They would have just gotten slaughtered, and at the end, Gon is actually able to, like, make Genthru flinch and, like, fight him pretty well. So there's already a pretty big gap there.
Like, Gon's able to fight Genthru with a strat.
No, that's debatable. Now, I'm a Genthru apologist, and like you can make the case in some instances that Genthru got a very bum deal in the fight with Gon. In this,
I'm a Genthru apologist.
what the heck is that?
You can make the case.
Dole, mute yourself.
Got a very bum
Dole.
deal in the fight with Gon.
What the? What's he doing? Dole, mute yourself.
I am so sorry.
What are you
I
doing?
forgot to mute. I apologize.
What a buffoon. What a fool. What a silly little guy.
Whatever, man.
I'm a Genthru apologist. Like, for example, in this scene right here, that kick has 70% of Gon's aura, and yet Genthru is defending himself with pretty much none of it. So, you know, and then he got a concussion from that. So after this, he fights the rest of the fight with a concussion. So just keep that in mind when you say Genthru's weak. But, you know, like, I get the idea they're going for. They're just like, Gon got stronger by a lot, which he did.
Strategy. Killua was able to strategize around one of Genthru's goons and, like, beat him up so badly that it was kind of funny.
Yeah, and he couldn't even use his arms too much too because they were like injured from the whole Razor battle.
And then they get so much stronger over the Chimera Ant arc. Like, their growth in the Chimera Ant arc, Fro's growth from Greed Island, it's a shame how much stronger they get over Chimera Ant arc.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
Yeah.
I guess we should start off from the beginning. Gon and Killua go in. They face Ramit, and they do pretty well, but none of their blows can really damage him. He, like, tanks a fully charged Junken to the stomach, and yeah, he screams in pain and stuff like that, but he's fine afterwards, like, he takes it and survives. Then he unlocks Nen, which we know is a pretty big boost, to say the
That's
least.
like a ginormous amp.
Yeah. And
Fun fact too, Ramot is actually an enhancer, meaning he got like an extra buff because like he's naturally more prone to making himself stronger. So he got a little extra boost there when he learned Nen. Just a little interesting note.
And then Gon and Killua train for a while, they unlock more Nen abilities, and then they train with Bisky once more. They get like boosts from wanting to avenge Kite and stuff like that, especially Gon. And then after that, Killua runs into Ramit again, and he still gets kind of...
Goddamn! What the? What the?
What?
Oh my God.
Goodness,
J. Hold on, I gotta put this one on.
Bro.
I gotta put this one on the
bro!
screen.
You need to.
Oh my
Bro,
God.
is your wallet okay?
Oh my God.
Where
bro,
are you getting this money
Bro, I
from?
honestly just think JJJ is a lawyer. There's like he's a lawyer or he's like some CEO. Is this good enough for request
He
live stream?
figured out the infinite money glitch.
Is this good enough for a request live stream for what if topic about a super lion?
What if Super Lion?
Yeah, we can do that. We're not gonna do that today, but like, look, JJJ, look, hit me up on the cord We'll work out the details. We'll work out some details, and we can make something happen. We can
He
make
figured
something.
out the infinite money. Oh my goodness.
We'll make something happen. Hold on, I gotta put this on the. I gotta put this on the
Two
stream now.
hundred and fifty out of nowhere.
Oh my god, bro! I was like sitting here thinking like, is making the goal $100 like not good enough? Like, is that too much to ask of people? And then like JJJ comes in here and does it like 2.5 times over with one go. Oh my
I'm a
god.
college student, right? But don't you have like college loans? Oh my god.
He's majoring in the fucking, I don't know, bro. He's majoring in the Matrix or something.
And it's only 2 out of 50 super chats. Oh my god.
Bro, he loves his Super Yaian like backstory thing. Guys, only 48 more donos to go until we hit the goal. We're almost there, guys. We're almost at the goal. I wish I get paid that much just to live stream. Man, you know, honestly, if JJJ didn't exist, then I wouldn't either. I'll put up any donos that are I'll put up any donos that go to 50 or above, if anyone is curious, by the way. If anyone wants to put up a dono that's 50 or above, by any chance. I legitimately got 50 plus,
yeah.
500 plus from you. Yeah, I do, bro. You're crazy. I really hope that you're not like, you're not struggling because you're sending me this money, man. I really hope you're not.
No, yeah, like I hope you're okay, like genuinely, because this is like I'm paying for your rent type money.
Let's put that right there. But yeah, we'll discuss a Super Yaian what if we can do. All right, let's. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. That dono should count as 25 plus. I mean,
honestly, yeah, maybe, probably.
If the king, the goat, the lord, JJJ desires it, we can react to another video after this. Oh my god. Okay, we're only 4 minutes into the other video. So, bro, JJJ's at McDonald's flipping burgers like, this is all for Super Yaian. Oh my god, bro. Okay, let's lock in. Let's lock in. But if, like I said, if the king JJJ desires it, then we'll still react to another video because he technically covered the dono goal. Should I end the goal now or what? And start a new goal?
I guess. Yeah, maybe start a new goal.
What should the new goal
or maybe
be?
just like use like the current one as like
react to a third
the
video.
New goal. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. We're not gonna end the goal. It's if we hit the goal again, then I'll react to 3 videos today. I'll react to 3 videos.
Beaten up because of the whole needle inside his head, telling him to like run away and not giving him resolve. But then when he breaks it, he just like, do you want to go into what he does to poor Ramit?
He first up just fear pressures Ramit. Ramit is not able to move a muscle. And then after that, after he tells Ramit to run and Ramit's about to try doing something, Killua speed blitz him, takes off his head, and
Adam Hunt, the person on stream with me is my friend Dole. He's kind of like an idiot, but like he he's read One Punch Man. So
thanks, man.
Yeah. Like he's kind of like my little, like, have you ever seen the movie Gremlins? Like I went to the store and I purchased him He's like my little gremlin,
Hey, Veronica.
my little Oompa Loompa. But we're friends, so like he's here.
Oompa Loompa's crazy. Shut up.
All right. We're gonna keep. We need to get through this video.
Crushes his head with little to no difficulty, and this was without using any of his special Nen abilities. This was just using basic Nen abilities.
Yeah, like, you can even argue he might not have even used Nen entirely. Like, he's just, like, physically sprinting over to him and just...
Yeah.
He doesn't even slice his head off. He just, like, runs past him and then just rips his head clean off before he can even...
He probably did use Nen. On account of his aura right before he destroyed Ramont. So yeah, I mean, he probably did use Nen. It wouldn't make sense for him to be physically powerful either, because he was losing just before that, and he was training, and removing the needle would only make him better at Nen, because like being more confident doesn't make you physically stronger. Well, it could, but like not to that degree. By the way, Dole, can you do me a favor while I'm doing this?
What's up?
Can you keep better track of? Can you keep track of the chat and see what people would be interested in me reacting in, and maybe write it down? Because Adam Hunt asked me to react to Dr. Splash's video. Can you just write down stuff so that, like, because I'm not going to be done reacting to this for another hour, and I want to remember what people want me to talk about.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, I'm gonna keep going with the video now.
even proceeded.
But yeah, he probably did use Nen.
So,
Like before they ended that training, and after, like before their Ramit fight, they were struggling with people at the Chimera Ant soldier level, and then they just get massively stronger to the point they can one-shot Chimera Ant soldiers, and then it goes even further with their scaling after Gon and Killua ends up meeting Morel, which
yeah. So, Morel, we know, is a very experienced hunter. He goes into fights with Chimera Ant quadrant leaders and comes out on top consistently. He beats Chidu, beats Leol. And then he just looks at Gon charging at Junken, and he just starts sweating. He starts, like, thinking, oh damn, like, what have I gotten myself into?
I'm about to die.
Okay, to be fair, this is a super mega rage amped Gon. This is not a normal Gon. Gon would not be...
What anime...
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, this is a mega rage amp. Mega rage amp Gon. This is not... Gon would never be like this around the Phantom Troupe, ever.
GGG just asked, like, what anime does Dole have knowledge on? He needs to be included for the next video. I guess a One Punch Man video would work.
One Punch Man is just about it, though. What else do we have in common that, like, either of us are, like, knowledgeable enough on to react to?
Not really. I need to read more. I'm like ADHD, man. Stuff out here.
Did you watch the Tori's OPM is stronger than you think video? I watched most of it. But I didn't finish it. I mainly was interested in like the lower tier characters. I didn't watch the part about Tatsumaki and Boros and stuff because I was like, well, yeah, I know more or less what he's gonna say about that. But I didn't want to watch. I mainly wanted to watch stuff about like Bang and Flash and what he thought about them. All right, we're gonna keep watching now.
That is legit what he thinks. He's just like, I'm about to die just from this. Everyone else is intimidated. Killua stares at this and just has a face of sadness on him. He doesn't care. He approaches Gon and snaps him out of it. Like,
well, the reason Killua was sad was because he knew how Gon felt. He knew like why Gon was feeling. He wasn't like looking at the John Ken and was like, oh, that's fodder, I could take that, you know, I'm not scared. You know, he was just like, you know, I know what you're going through, Gon. Like, I'm sorry that you feel this way.
Like,
Yeah.
they're narratively implied in basically relative a repeated amount of times throughout this arc.
Looking to get absolutely jacked?
No, just looking for clean protein.
Clean. You need to take your muscles.
Free ad for that guy.
And then,
I
do you
guess.
want to go into what Killua does to all those officers when he faces them in the forest?
When
An
Killua goes over
advert?
to the forest, right?
Yeah,
This
I
man
don't have-
ends up going through a...
I don't have YouTube Premium on this account. Because YouTube Premium is absurdly expensive and I can't have it on every account.
gauntlet of Chimera Ant officers, where he starts out having to fight 9 Chimera Ant officers with a guy in the air, giving them moves to try and be able to sneak attack Killua, which doesn't work, so they have to get a sniper to snipe Killua from the background while also launching a grenade at him. Killua chases after him, kills him, and just gets Icalgo out from them, and then he has to fight against a guy who can teleport darts into their head, and Killua still
Literal domain expansion. He literally fought in a sure hit domain expansion and won.
manages to counter that and gets even stronger from that fight.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. He, like, develops new abilities, like, mid-battle. And his intelligence, too. He, like, instantly...
Prof got that JJJ money and doesn't got premium? Dude, it's paying my bills, man. You're paying my bills. I can't afford YouTube Premium. No, I just don't have it on this account. I already started streaming on this account. And I started streaming late, so I didn't want to take more time to change it over. So we're just gonna do it on the premiumless account, unfortunately. But this is the way the world is today. Besides, I'm pretty sure YouTube Premium is like $30 a month. So I just can't get that on all my accounts.
Deduces that, like, the fish guy is playing a dart game with him. He's memorized, like, the entire board. He's, like, thinking 20 steps ahead, like, oh, he got this many points, this means that now he'll go for my head, and then he, like, develops a new ability on the fly. And then those officers, he just murdered them with his bare hands, specifically not wanting to show off his Nen ability so that they wouldn't know what he can do. So he just goes in with his bare hands, just slaughters, like, 9 officers, no difficulty.
Not to mention, Gon also slaughters a bunch of officers on his own as well. Like, remember those guys? Like, one of them was like an owl bear thing. I do not remember what they were, but he takes a bunch of them out on his own.
Yeah, they like tag team him with strategies and like supporting each other. He just tanks all their attacks and like launches one of them to another country.
This is all mostly correct.
He just country launches them away, like no difficulty.
He like punches him away like Saitama, man. So yeah, Gon and Killua are pretty strong. We won't be giving them adult Gon because, you know.
Tactical nuke incoming!
And then
Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Went over that earlier.
And then Godspeed, Eternal Flame has already made a video on Godspeed Killua versus Hisoka, so I suggest you check that out if you want to see where Killua with Godspeed would stack up against the Phantom Troupe.
Yup. And yeah,
Interesting.
so that's
Okay.
that's like Gon and Killua's main base form scaling, because after this point, they don't really have many fights they do in base form. Like, Gon does have one final feat of intimidating P2 and what was called Poof in his base form, but like that's just Nen pressure. I don't think they actually would be able to take P2 and like Poof out in base form.
Yeah, I would say so, because Pito is more so intimidated because of the whole Kamugi thing, and she says that, like, Goen's fangs might sink into the king even before he transforms, but it's more so just, like, I feel the potential that she sees in him. So, yeah, I think it's not really relevant for this matchup.
I mean, something interesting that I've thought about before, and I don't know how much I actually believe this, but you could kind of interpret it that Pito's fear came from her hunch about how strong Gon was, but she was also scared of him at the moment. And you know, based on like his John Ken, which you saw right there, and it could be that like she was more intimidated by Gon than she was by base Netero, or just by Netero in general, and Zeno Zoldyck. So it could be that Gon with his John Ken has more AP than Zeno and Netero, because she saw Netero and Zeno and was like, oh man, there's some guys here. Merom, look out, there's some guys here. But like she saw Gon and was like, I can never let this guy get near the king ever. So you could take that into consideration if you wanted to like highball him.
Yeah, it'd also just be unfair because it's just like, okay, now we have the cheese argument. We no longer need to do this entire video because they all get taken out by this if he actually scaled to them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like stated that Pito can like decapitate Gon with one arm or something like that. So yeah.
I think she was just scared by Kamugi's life being threatened. Yes, but she was also scared that Gon would go after the king. To be fair, I thought that same thing. She was defenseless though. Yeah, no, it's more about Pito being scared of Gon going after the king. What's your opinion on Yuji versus Yuta? I think Yuji would win if they fought without domain expansion, and if they fought like full power and they ended up going for their domain expansions, that Yuta would win.
But moving on to the actual 1v1 matchups.
All right, we're at the meat and potatoes, boys. We pulled up the ribs. The ribs are out. The ribs and the potatoes are out.
So in the lowest tier, we have 4 members, which the lowest tier is like confident W's for Killua and Gon. First up is Cortopi, and I don't think anybody will claim otherwise. Like,
Nah, he's gonna drop a building on them. Just wait, he's gonna show he's the man.
right? You remember that time he stood against Feitan and Finks alongside Machi and was confident he could beat them? Right.
Because confidence always tells us everything about power scaling.
Yep. Right. He like spawned 50
where is
buildings
this
in a
edit
second.
from?
He's large city level, gonna drop some buildings on him. But
Drops all the buildings.
yeah, but in all honesty, like, you know, Cortopi, the guy who got like off-screened, so like, yeah, he's probably not doing much. He's not a combat type. Same with Pakunoda.
Edit.
And like Pakunoda just has the unfortunate reality of she got damaged by Yorknu, Gon, and Killua, and I think she got her arm broken by them, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like,
granted, it was off guard to some extent, but still, it's like, it's not
Gon
a
and
good showing.
Killua have gotten several times stronger since they off-guarded her. There's no amount of off-guard that's gonna make up for how much damage she took and how much stronger Gon and Killua have gotten in comparison to back then.
Yeah, because
Now, a lot of people get mad at you saying that, but like, I wanna like throw this out there that like nobody ever thinks about is like being a little off guard with still knowing Nen versus Raymont having 0 Nen and also being completely paralyzed, his entire body being completely paralyzed, and then hit by an attack that's 10 times stronger. I don't know. You know, like, I don't know. I think that one is a lot more impressive than the other. Does that mean that base Raymont is more durable than Pakunoda? Yes.
Killua, one thing we didn't mention also, Killua is able to like open up the gates, like way more gates later on when he returns to his house, which is, I'm pretty sure he opens like 4 times the weight that he opened the first time when he entered his house in the Zoldykark. So just like his physicality, probably not even using Nen, is already like 4 times stronger than he used to be. So
yeah, especially with the needle being gone too, just full physical potential at that point. Up next we have Kaluto, which Kaluto is a bit harder to explain in comparison, but Kaluto, just when they see Feitan fight, they outright admit inferiority and just are like, I am nowhere near these guys' level. And this is when Feitan was fighting a Zazan, Zazan's a squadron leader, but she wasn't transformed at that point, and Kaluto looks at that and is just like, I don't stand a chance. So Kaluto is pretty handedly just below Feitan's level and below Chimera Ant's squadron leader level.
Yep, and her best feat is like slaughtering an officer, but it's like slaughtering 1 officer with your Nen ability versus slaughtering 9 of them without showing off your Nen ability and then running an entire gauntlet of officers. Like, there's a pretty clear gap between them and their brother.
Killua showing them why they're the little sibling.
Yeah.
Up next is Shizuku. Shizuku is kind of in a similar boat to Kaluto,
So far, nothing to disagree with.
where they struggled with a Chimera Ant squadron, or not squadron leader, they struggled with a Chimera.
I'm hoping that like once we get to Finks and stuff, then like I'll have something to say. Now, I have a feeling, just based on like on the vibe of Satori's other videos, that he will have a higher interpretation of, or maybe he'll have a lower interpretation of the Phantom Troupe compared to me, and especially compared to like most fans. But we'll see. And keep going.
Chimera Ant soldier, and like sure, I feel that Chimera Ant soldier was stronger than average because they actually had a name. But even then, they still struggled with that tier. When Killua and Gon have demonstrated several times, they are just outright above this tier.
Yeah, like, Pike's a Chimera Ant officer. Like, he's pretty strong. And it is stated that his webbing can't be broken by, like, the strongest officer they have. But even then, it's not really much of a feat when Killua by himself is going around running entire gauntlets of officers. And then Gon on top of that, like, with a Jonken, with, like, electricity hacks and all that. Like, Shizuku's not really stacking up to all that. Even then, like, even in Yorknu, she actually loses, like, an arm wrestling match to Gon. And granted, that is without Nen.
That was also because she was using her left arm, which was like implied to be her weaker arm.
Yeah, but there's like another thing which I actually looked into before the recording. The dominant.
Okay, to be fair, this is without Nen. And so, like, current Gon and York New is not punching holes in Chimera Ant officers with Nen. That's just not happening yet. Not even close.
Arm of a person is only around like 10 to 20% stronger than their other arm. So it's not really much of a difference. And
That is fair.
she might not have been using Nen. She probably wasn't. But neither was Gon, and Gon has gotten like way stronger physically and way stronger in terms of Nen since then. So yeah, he's probably physically stronger than her as well.
Yep.
Probably nothing to disagree with until the high tier, but we'll see. I mean, like, most Hunter x Hunter... I don't like generalizing. Like, a lot of Hunter x Hunter fans think that, like, Shizuku would body them. Even... So, I've talked to people that think Pakunoda would beat up Gon and Killua. So, you know... Some people would already be mad.
She doesn't have the skill to keep up with that tier of fighter.
Yeah. Hey, Future Satori cutting in here. We actually had to record Bono Lenov separately, and then I lost the recording somehow. I don't know where it went. So I guess I'm alone for this section. So Bono Lenov definitely goes in the confident W's for Gon and Killua. His performance against Chimera Ant soldiers is just not good. He faces off against a nameless ant, which still uses guns for combat, and he performs a named Nen attack on him. He conjures a spear, drives it into the soldier. The soldier laughs it off and takes no damage whatsoever. Compare this to Gon and Killua, who can tear apart officers.
Now, the thing with the bullet is, like, I get it, it's funny, like, haha, he uses bullets, and Bono Lenov couldn't beat him easily. But the thing is that the Chimera Ant only used bullets when he only used guns when he didn't have Nen, and also, like, he was pretty clearly doing it for fun. To be fair, I don't think anyone actually thinks Bono Lenov is bullet level, to be honest, so it doesn't matter that much.
And soldiers with their bare hands, and yeah, Bono Lenov is not doing well. The best argument you could make for Bono Lenov is that he, alongside a few others, was kind of confident that he could face off against transformed Zazan if Feitan failed, and he was actually like the next one up to face Zazan if Feitan had failed. So at best, you could say that he can just, like, perceive those two moving, and his reaction speed is somewhat relative to theirs. But even then, his combat speed is definitely not at that level. Like, he's impressed with the speed of sound, which, I don't know if you know this, bullets can travel at the speed of sound. Gon and Killua especially.
Okay, so now, okay, I guess I actually do have something to say about this now. He was commenting on the Chimera Ant's movement speed, not as like combat speed per se. Like, Bono Lenov can punch faster, and we know that because right away Bono Lenov actually tagged that Chimera Ant with his prologue ability. So Bono Lenov isn't limited by the speed of that Chimera Ant, but he was just saying that Chimera Ant is slower than sound. Therefore, his abilities will work on him because all of Bono Lenov's abilities are based on sound. So he can't outrun the sound. Gon suffered from the exact same thing when he was fighting the two Chimera Ants in the forest. He was being assaulted by a supersonic blast that, like, disrupted him. It doesn't mean that Gon is slower than sound in combat, but he can't escape the range of it because he can't physically run faster than sound for a long time.
Faces off against dozens of armed soldiers controlled by Pito and dodges their bullets just fine. On top of that, he's confident he can face off against jets, like fighter jets, military aircraft, which can also go over the speed of sound. So yeah, things aren't looking good for Bono Lenov. You could argue that maybe with Jupiter he could, like, kill a squadron leader, because again, he was confident he could face off against Zazan. But even then, like, Gon and Killua aren't just going to sit there and let it happen. They can dodge it, they can attack preemptively to prevent it from happening, and they can stun Bono Lenov and just kill him with Jajonkans and just ripping his heart out and stuff like that. So yeah, the mummy is getting put back in his coffin. He's definitely losing here. A similar thing applies to a lot of the troop, actually, specifically the ones that saw Zazan fighting Feitan. They were all kind of not phased from the fight itself. But again, confidence doesn't necessarily mean that they actually do scale to that level. And even if they did, at best you could say their speed scales to that level and they were just gonna use, like, the blinky suck thing to like suck up their blood, or just Jupiter to one-shot, or just winding up their arms to one-shot, you know, like, at best you can scale them up to Squadron Leader speed, which Gon and Killua do scale to, and then after...
So, like, I've said this before in basically every video I do on the troop. If you want to discount their confidence, that's fine, but like, if you do think that they're confident in winning, then you can just be like, you can kind of interpret it this way. Bonolenov thinks he has a pretty good chance of beating Zazan. He at least needs to be able to damage her, which means he can damage like Squadron Leader Chimera Ants that are super amped. So like if he fought Chi2, if he fought Lael, if he fought people that are Squadron Leader level, like Knuckle, for example, like Morel, probably even people that are stronger than Squadron Leaders, like Crollo, like he'd be able to damage them. Because Jupiter is just a big explosion, pretty much. It's not like hacks. Like Shizuku's might be hacks. Shizuku isn't really included there. Shizuku didn't really say anything about thinking she could fight Zazan. Neither did Shalnark. Shalnark might be different because he might just be like, oh, I can use my needle and win. But I think it really only applies to Finks and Bonolenov. And so you just be like, okay, they can damage Chimera Ants of that level with their main moves. But their main moves also have charge time. If I were to go over Gon and Killua versus Bonolenov, I would kind of start off similar, where it's like his base attacks are very weak. His base attacks can't hurt Squadron Leaders at all. Not Squadron Leaders, can't hurt officer tier ants at all. He shoved a spear into that officer's chest and it did no damage. Therefore, like, all he has in his kit that's going to do anything to Gon and Killua is Jupiter. But, you know, John Ken is probably in a similar order of magnitude in terms of power, similar level of power. He's able to scare Squadron Leader tier characters like Knuckle, and then Killua has Thunderbolt to paralyze Bonolenov. Thunderbolt, John Ken, just OP combo, good net abilities. They can also have way stronger base attacks, so I think they would win one-on-one. But if he activates Jupiter, then maybe they'll be in a little bit of trouble.
After that, you just get like two characters that are as fast as a Squadron Leader and have better hacks against one character who's as fast as a Squadron Leader and doesn't actually scale to them without their strongest moves. So yeah, definitely Bonolenov loses here. Pretty low difficulty, I would say. And then
I think that like one-on-one, I think the characters are all, I think they're in a similar tier of power. I think Bonolenov has a decent chance of winning, but I do think that Gon or Killua one-on-one would still take it, probably like mid to high difficulty. But 2v1 is just a very, very bad stomp for Bonolenov. He's not getting out of there alive.
Moving on to the next tier up, it's kind of the unknown tier, which is like all these characters should still lose, but it's just like we don't really know where they scale exactly because they haven't really shown us anything yet. So first up is going to be Franklin. Franklin's only feat is shooting bullets at people, and like...
And these were normal people, and one of them was a Nen user, but I think they were a Nen scrub. Like, they have no feats.
Yeah. And then he's like confident that he can take on Hisoka by himself on the Black Whale, and you know, maybe he can, who knows, but until we actually see that happen, it's the same deal as Cortopi being confident he can face off against Feitan. Like,
hey, for all we know, Franklin might secretly be #1 of the Phantom Troop, and we all just been judging him wrong.
Yeah.
He might be.
It's possible.
Yeah, unfortunate fact about Machi, Franklin, and Nobunaga. We just don't know very much about them yet. Hopefully they do some cool stuff in the Succession War arc. So again, I think I'm not going to have very much to say in this section.
Fully know Franklin, Ultra Instinct coming in with like machine guns and...
Franklin Instinct.
Monster Instinct comes in, just transforms, reveals like another form.
Yeah. Nobunaga is in a similar tier, like similar area to Franklin is, because he just doesn't have any feats.
Yeah, they like face off against each other too. They like fight.
It also was Nobunaga like fought Gon and Killua in Yorknew, which means he scales above them in Yorknew, obviously, but we just don't know by how much or how he scales yet. This might change later on in Hunter x Hunter when it continues, because Nobunaga looks like he's about to fight some people, but still.
Yeah, so for now, we just don't know. That's what we're saying, because like they just don't really have those kinds of feats yet as in the story. They don't really fight anybody relevant. It is stated that like he can just one-shot and blitz Gon and Killua from York New, but again, Killua can one-shot himself from the Chimera Ant arc by now, so
Yeah.
it's not really doing. It's not really
York
scaling him
New Killua
above.
just, York New Killua just ain't him.
Yeah. And then moving on, next up we have Machi. Now, Machi's an interesting one, because the one and only feat she has is reacting quicker than everybody else to Uvogin being chained up and,
GGJ. Prof, instead of reacting to a video, would you be willing to do an A-class ranking, including Super Yayan as a separate character? Yeah, I could do that. And do that for you. Jupiter might mess up base Killua? Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, you're not that far off. You're not that far off. How and why do people think that? Dude, it's like normie anime communities. You know, it's like it's cool, edgy group with cool, edgy characters. It's not super crazy to. It's not super crazy. I'm tired, man. I don't remember if Nobu actually did get feats or not. Not really. He's kind of killed. He's done some stuff, but the thing with the Succession War arc is the only people on the boat with good power scaling are like the Zodiacs, the Phantom Troupe, and Kurapika. And I guess Bisky. But you know, he's fighting new the Phantom Troupe are mostly fighting new characters. So, yeah, you know.
escort. Now, Machi's an interesting one, because the one and only feat she has is reacting quicker than everybody else to Uvogin being chained up and escorted away from the battlefield by Kurapika. But the thing is, we actually see every other member, like, reacting to it, and then they even talk about what happened.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say that that's wrong, but, you know, they got it right. She didn't. She wasn't the only one to react.
Like, did you see what happened? Yeah, some chains wrapped around Uvogin and took him away. So, like, they all saw it. It's just that Machi was, like, fast enough to, like, react to the...
Well, Machi has, like, a long-range ability. Long to mid-range ability. Like, she had something she could do. You know, Nobunaga doesn't. Franklin doesn't. What's Franklin gonna do? Like, shoot Uvogin? Machi is probably, like, smarter than those guys. Except for Shalnark, obviously. Shalnark is, I believe, stated to be the second strongest.
She was fast enough to actually do something about it, unlike the rest of them.
Yeah, I view this more so as, like, her being, like, a quick thinker, that sort of thing. Like, she's quick on her feet, she, like, notices something going on and immediately acts upon it, unlike the rest, which are kind of surprised.
Yep.
You might be able to argue that she has, like, the speed to sort of keep up with Gon and Killua, maybe.
She also believes she can take out Hisoka, but this belief is very unfounded. He doesn't know his full strength. First time she says it. Second time she says it, she gets completely folded by him. True. Sure.
If you say she's, like, relative to Feitan and people like that, or, like, above them slightly. But even if you do that, she still doesn't really have any, like, attack potency feats or durability feats. I'm pretty sure in the manga, Killua actually, like, sort of injures her with his attack. Because in the anime, she just, like, tanks his blow with, like, her muscles and then just traps his arm.
Yeah.
But in the manga, I'm pretty sure he actually does some damage. Like, she bleeds because of the kick. I just noticed, like, Killua kicks her, and then she's shown bleeding from her mouth. But you can argue that's off guard. But then Killua attacks her with a Nen enhanced strike, and then she, like, takes it.
Damn. That is still just impressive, nonetheless.
Yeah, that is impressive for sure, but also I'm just realizing it's not even to her stomach in the manga, it's straight up to her chest. Like, if you look at the panel,
He knows what he was doing.
he was going for the heart, but still, like,
Yeah.
he was doing that Kakashi meme where, like, fastest way to a girl's heart, Chidori.
Killua really did take lessons from his older brother Kakashi.
Yep. But then moving on, we have Shalnark, and he's another weird one because in base,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
he struggles with an officer, but then he uses autopilot and turns Super Saiyan and kind of just disintegrates the officer. Like, he just, like,
Just by
disappears. Yeah,
He
like,
doesn't even attack him intentionally. He just walks away from him, and that kills the officer. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
that's good scaling, but we don't know the upper limits of that. So
Yeah, so, like, he kills an officer by existing, But then Killua
Yeah.
runs an Officer Gauntlet without using his Nen ability, so which is more impressive? How long can
Well, so he didn't just walk away from the officer. He autopilot was just programmed to defeat his enemies in that instance, and also that wasn't actually an officer. The first Chimera Ant was a peon Chimera Ant, not an officer. Boku was the officer. Boku was the one that he was programmed to destroy. So there is that.
Shalnar keep up his autopilot mode? Because we know it's draining. His muscles hurt afterwards. But how long can he go? How much can he do? We just don't know. So
well, we do kind of know how long he can go. He only can do it for a few moments, and then he's forced to deactivate it. He can only do one task.
Yeah, he can do one task. So when the task is over, he then deactivates it. Because I'm pretty sure the little bot in his hand actually says target terminated or something like that, or task complete, and then deactivating, and then he returns to base 1.
I feel like it's task complete, but
yeah, probably. So yeah, we just can't really quantify where he is, and sadly we won't be able to, because you know.
Oh, manga spoilers.
Maybe we might get flashback.
Manga spoilers.
But yeah, right now we can't.
But yeah, I'm sad, bro. Shalnark was one of my favorite members. Sad that he...
Discounted Lumi was pretty good. I'll give him that.
So then moving on to the next tier, which is actually the debatable characters. We have Finks first up, so you can go into Finks.
Finks is super weird to me. I feel like Finks does have the attack potency to take Gon and Killua out, but that's only if he is actually allowed to wind up his arm. If he is not, he is losing because he can't actually... his attacks only tickle a Chimera Ant Squadron soldier, or officer, which is why he lets him straight up just choose the next attack, and he's just gonna tank it, because he's confident enough that he can take whatever attack Finks will land on him. He just didn't know Finks' ability.
Yeah, and on top of that, Finks thinks that Razor is an impressive foe, and he notes this right off the bat just by the way Razor carries himself and just his presence. Finks is yeah, this guy's strong, watch out. But then later on, Gon is able to somewhat contend with him, which, I don't think Gon in Greed Island would beat Finks, but I'm just saying, you can make that argument. So,
well, if you were to, I've heard that argument before. But the thing is that to say that just normal Greed Island Gon scales to Finks, then that just means that the Chimera Ant officers cannot be the same strength level. And clearly that this is an interpretation that Satori goes with, and I know he's not saying that he thinks that Greed Island Gon is stronger than Finks, but if you went with that, then you can't say the officers are the same level, because that means that Ramot is stronger than this gorilla Chimera Ant right here, because Ramot took that John Ken, took a Razor level John Ken. I think that Gon just had a big rage amp against Razor, and that's about it. I think that's pretty clear, which is why his John Kens were so absurdly powerful. And so you can even kind of tell in the way it's presented. Charges them up for half an hour.
Finks overall is pretty weird. He's part of that combat squad together with Nobunaga and Feitan. But we just don't really know how strong he truly is. Maybe he could go into the unknown tier, but I feel he's above those people, so we just placed him in the
because
debatable tier.
He has actual scaling in a way to take out Gon and Killua, which is if he can wind up his arm. Just I don't see Gon and Killua letting him wind up his arm.
Yeah, because they're gonna scrap a little bit. Finks is gonna realize that I'm getting kind of outpaced. Let me wind up my arm to beat them up, and then they're gonna see him.
Yeah, pretty much everything that I said about Gon and Killua versus Benolanov, that's more or less what I think here. I think that he is poor, not so great physical stats, and that he's got a really strong ability that can fight squadron leaders. But Gon also has that in John Ken, and then Killua has Thunderbolt. So it's he's fighting somebody that's more or less has the same build as him, just with better normal abilities, and then somebody that can just paralyze him. So just not a good look for Finks. I think one-on-one could go either way. I would probably say that I think Killua could beat Finks. I keep forgetting we're only doing base. I think base versus base is debatable. Yeah, base Killua versus Finks is debatable. The 2-on-1 is, it's fighting two people that are more or less around your level.
him like just winding up his arm, and like 2 or 3 times is more than enough for them to realize that Nen is gathering in his arm and then just go on the offensive. Killua using like lightning palm and stuff like that to like stun him, and then Gon charging in with Jajankens or whatever. I'm pretty sure they can still beat things.
All I'm imagining right now is just like Sasuke and Naruto when they just decided to tag team Kaguya immediately upon seeing her enter, but instead he just dies immediately.
Yeah, bro, they jump him like they jumped Momoshiki too.
Yeah.
just you know that like fight back thing? That's what they're gonna do. It's like I'm pretty sure Finks can take a few blows. It's just that he doesn't really have like he has a way to victory, but he doesn't have a way of assuring that way to victory, if that makes sense.
Especially because of Killua's entire moveset and how he's like uses it, which is mainly just to stun people. And that's just the worst possible opponent for Finks.
Yep.
So up next, we're moving on to Feitan, which Feitan was by far the most interesting of the matches, in my opinion, because of how Feitan's powers work. Gon is going to be not a non-factor, but he's going to end up hurting their chances more than helping their chances, if I'm going to be honest. This is mainly reliant on Killua, and if Killua can stun Feitan before he can activate any of his powers and activate Pain Packer.
Yeah. So for baseline Phaeton's...
You know, it would be cool if someone made a video about Killua versus Feitan. It would be cool if someone made a video about that. It'd be cool if someone did that.
Scaling, we know that when he's rusty, he's in that squadron like leader tier, and when he's like not rusty anymore, like he's still rusty by the end of the fight, but he's pretty soon able to like outpace
non-armored Zazan.
Yeah, he's pretty confidently able to outpace her and sort of destroy her. Not destroy, but you know, just overwhelm her. But then when she transforms, he cannot do anything to her at all. And Zazan, you know, she's pretty strong when she transforms, but I don't think she's in that, like, Royal Guard tier or anything like that.
She's the strongest of the Chimera Ant squad. Like, she's the strongest of the Chimera Ant squadrons that we see. It's just she is still below Royal Guard tier by a long shot.
Yeah. And then Feitan can't do anything to her. I'm pretty sure Gon and Killua, like, with a Jajanken, probably could do something to her, but that's kind of headcanon. The main...
Here's the thing, is that if you think that Gon and Feitan are around the same level base to base, then that attack that he used that couldn't do anything to Zazan was essentially a Feitan Janken, because he used Ko, and Ko is focusing all your aura in one spot. What Jajanken is essentially is Ko with a small charge time, and that small charge time multiplies it by about, not multiplies it, but it increases it about by 10 to 20%. So could he damage Zazan? Maybe, but it shouldn't be very much.
Main thing that I'm getting at is that Phaeton's physicality isn't really... It's not going to fall far behind Gon and Killua, but it's not going to outpace them either. Like, I'm pretty sure...
I think Feitan would be slightly above them physically, in terms of, like, raw, like, punching and speed. Not punching, I guess, but with the sword. He needs his sword to be up there. But, like, I think he'd be a little bit above them one-on-one. But, like, he is fighting 2 people on that level, so...
Sure, he's, like, relative to them. He could probably tango with them in a 2-on-1, but it's not going to be an easy task. It's going to be, like, high diff for him. They'll still be landing hits and stuff like that. But then, with Pain Packer... Like, that's the interesting debate there.
They aren't getting up.
Yeah,
they
like,
aren't getting up.
Zazan's
lungs were so hot, she couldn't stand.
Yeah, like, he got his arm broken, and just from that, he brought in the sun. Like, what's gonna happen if Gon punches him with a Jajanken and, like, breaks a few ribs? Like, he's gonna summon, like, a neutron star or something? Like...
Summons a blue giant?
Yeah. Well, if Gon manages to hit Feitan with a Janken, then it's kind of just GG. If you think that if you think Feitan and Gon are around the same level base to base, we know that it's pretty straightforward. Knuckle was way stronger than Gon around the midpoint of the Chimera Ant arc, and yet Knuckle thought that he would need Ko to protect himself from Janken. He didn't even think that Gyo was enough. So it's pretty clear that Janken can one-shot people even physically stronger than Gon himself is. So Feitan would actually just die if I'm being honest. I don't think he would survive that, especially if it's in combination with like a Killua Thunderbolt. So he's like paralyzed on top of that.
Just out of nowhere.
Bro, the final stage of the...
Like the weakness of Jajanken is that you need to stand there and charge it for a second, but if you throw Killua in there, then it's like it's a lot better, because if he just paralyzes someone and then Gon can use Jajanken, then like he can just hit it, he can just land it. It doesn't matter how smart or intelligent, it doesn't matter how intelligent or fast you are. If you're paralyzed.
Pain Packer, black hole.
You thought you were stronger than me? Who decided that? Cruel son.
Bro, that's
Killua's gonna Phaeton's gonna become Escanor after taking all that damage.
yeah. So Gon is just gonna hurt them a lot in the match.
Yeah.
I feel like the best thing Gon and Killua have going for them is that Killua is like that on-site guy, like he just sees you when he goes for the kill. Because against Machi, like in the anime it's a little bit different. In the manga, he just goes straight for her heart. He also goes like right for the heads of all the Chimera Ant leaders that he faces. And he like targets the heart and the head all the time when he fights. So if
their
he's
best
the
chance
one
for winning their best chance for winning this is Killua stunning him and then telling Gon to focus on Phaeton's heart. That is the best way I can see them winning.
Yeah. And personally I would say like Killua just like counting on Gon to make a good enough distraction to like rip out Phaeton's heart or something like that, because he's like that on-site guy. He's gonna go for the heart. It's just a matter of if he can actually reach the heart, because if he can, like all of Killua's moves are going to be like almost instant kills, and because that's what he's aiming for. So Pain Packer isn't gonna happen if Killua is able to like get a kill shot in right away. But if he can't, and if Phaeton stacks up damage, then it's over.
I think it's pretty unlikely that he'd be able to build up enough damage before he could use Pain Packer, especially because like let's be honest, man. There's really nothing. There's nothing that stops Killua from using Thunderbolt to paralyze him after Phaeton uses Pain Packer. It's like he'll be charging up Pain Packer, then Killua's like zap, paralyzes him, and like Gon's like John Kid, boom, you know.
Huge problem with this also is they don't know Phaeton's abilities.
Yep.
Which is going to go really well in Phaeton's advantage.
Yeah, but if you see someone charging up like a lot of aura, you know they're going to do something crazy. So I think the ultimate prodigy optimized combat genius Killua is going to know to throw a Thunderbolt at him, paralyze him.
In this entire fight.
Yeah. A funny interaction I could see is that if Phaeton's sword clashes with like the scissors from Gon, that could be pretty cool. I feel like if Togashi wrote that battle, he could probably sneak that in. But
100%.
But other than that, I feel like this is more so like a 50-50 matchup. Like, this is where we get into that, like, really debatable tier because of how Phaeton's abilities work.
Yeah, I'm personally leaning closer to Phaeton winning rather than Killua and Gon, purely because I don't think they're going to put him down fast enough for Pain Packer to activate.
I'd actually take Killua and Gon, in all honesty. I don't know how Phaeton deals with Thunderbolt plus John Cannon combo.
Before Pain Packer can activate, but I can also see why it'd be 50-50.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say Phaeton definitely has a good chance, like maybe 55 to 45, you know, something like that.
Yeah, that I can say.
Last up in this tier is gonna be the musclehead of the group, Uvogin. So he's also kind of weird.
Yeah, Satori was going on to me about this earlier on, like before we even started recording, just how physically busted Uvogin might actually be. Because you know Crollo's really strong, right? He told me like Uvogin's considered the physically strongest of the group, which would put him above the striking strength of Crollo, who can keep up with Zoldix.
Yeah, because like Crollo even says like, yeah, Uvogin, like that guy, like in physical combat, nobody's beating him. Like you need a plan to beat him. Like nobody's beating him in physical combat, and of course that's not including like the Royals or anything. But for Crollo to say that, Crollo's the guy that can like block punches from like Silva and Zeno. So
yeah, you can actually like take these statements to like a pretty absurd level. Because Uvogin thinks that like at 20% of his power, his punches are so strong that only a Master Enhancer can block it. And Crollo is obviously not a Master Enhancer. Now, Uvogin could also just not really be the most aware of like the top tier troop members' abilities, because it is stated that most of the fandom troop does hide their abilities from one another, even though they trust each other. They hide their abilities to remain safe. But you know, Uvogin is like a beast compared to Crollo tier fighters, so that is high praise. But like to be like, I'm gonna be honest though, like how many times is Uvogin taking a Thunderbolt John Ken combo? Like I consider myself one of like the more intense Uvogin glazers. But, like I don't know if I can see like because I guess it depends on how smart Gon and Killua would decide to be about it. But like if they just keep on hitting him with Thunderbolt and John Ken combos, then I don't know what he's gonna do. I think he could take a couple of them, but I don't know how long he's gonna keep that up. My opinion has shifted towards Gon and Killua after the stream. Lol, yeah. I mean, like it's just that like fighting two people of a comparable level to yourself, even if you're like a bit stronger, it's just really hard. Especially two people with very complementary abilities. Do you agree that even early series Invincible solos Hunter x Hunter? Yeah.
Probably does, yeah.
Yeah, he does. No one in Hunter x Hunter is multi-continental, so.
He was fighting them both at the same time, and they both were trying to kill him.
Yeah, and then Zeno, like, or Silva can, like, one-shot quadrant leaders, and Uvogin is just, like, might unironically have, like, greater physical strength than they do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a might. I mean, I just think he does outright. Like Crollo saying that it's just impossible to beat him one-on-one is crazy. What up? Am I the only one that gets Wolverine?
I thought you were saying something else. It's okay.
Nah, he's playing up the whole Wolverine like animal man thing.
In a fight, like, I'm pretty sure the Zoldyx would still win because of like den abilities and like stuff like that, but still, it's like Uvogin's just raw physical power is just insane.
Yep. And like the thing I see Uvogin winning with is just Big Bang attack, nuking the ground, and just launching Gon and Killua away. I think they can survive one Big Bang attack. Problem is, what are they going to do about the second one, Inoki?
Meteor, like... I'm pretty sure that there's like a scan of like...
Well, like, I think a full-powered Big Bang Impact would destroy either of them. I don't think either of them are taking it. But then it's just like... I don't know if I think Gon and Killua could beat Uvogin, but I do think that like they should give them a bit more credit. Like I do think Uvogin would thrash them if it was just a competition of like who punches harder. But you know they do Gon and Killua actually do have a very good complementary ability to one another. That I think it's mainly Killua, but it's like, you know, one of them who's just like I punch really hard, one of them who I paralyze people. Like that's a good combination. Silva versus Crollo, who you got to the death? Crollo for sure. Crollo would annihilate him. Power scale, I'm not saying that. It's extremely powerful. I only read stuff if I'm interested in it. I don't really read stuff for power scaling. If I power scale something, it's because I like it enough, or if JJJ gives me enough money. Wolverine from Marvel solos Hunter x Hunter. I don't think too many people would disagree with you.
Uvogin wants to one day be able to punch with the force of a nuclear bomb, and so you know, if he can somehow reach that tier, like if he has enough potential for that level of power, he might be one-shotting Meruem. I don't know.
Damn.
Uvogin with training versus Meruem video coming soon.
Pre-Rose Meruem versus Uvogin with training coming soon for the future.
Yeah. But like what we're getting at is that Uvogin physically is just an insane tank who can like take bazookas to the face and all that stuff. But his speed is like the only questionable thing, because Crollo like does say he can't be beat in physical combat, but that doesn't mean he can't be outsped in physical combat. Like you could still like run circles around him and just not be able to like damage him at all with physical.
Well, that's not really true, because if he's unbeatable in physical combat, then he has to be relative to his opponents in order to hit them. You know, kind of has to be, by virtue of how of how winning a fight works, unless you just think he kind of just stands there. Unless you think he's so physically strong, he could just stand there and take infinity punches from Chrollo until Chrollo just gets tired and collapses and dies of old age or something crazy. But he has to be relative in order to compare to those tiers.
Yeah, like it might just be sheer raw durability, but at the same time, I'm not as sure about that because I think Uvogin can at least keep up with Chrollo, or else I don't think Chrollo would make that statement, considering Chrollo's abilities and
Yeah,
how he works.
pretty much what I said.
So you can't beat him without a plan.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. So overall, like, Killua and Gon, like, with a fully charged Junkan, like, they probably could damage him. But the thing is, like, he's not... Actually, like, I was gonna say he's not going to sit there and let it happen, but he actually would. Like, he genuinely would. He'd be like, oh, you're an enhancer too, let's charge up your greatest attack, I'll charge up mine. Like, yeah, they're gonna, like, clash fist, like, Big Bang Impact versus fully charged Junkan.
I mean, if that, like, Uvogin is definitely physically stronger than Gon. That much is for sure. Oh, da 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 da. Alright, hold on. Stream stuff is tweaking right now. I don't know why my OBS is tweaking out. Alright, let's look at a couple chats while I try to fix this. Wolverine is strong enough and durable enough to cut into Hulk and take hits from Hulk, which are better feats than anything in Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, I mean, okay. Like I said, I don't think anyone that reads Marvel Comics is gonna say that Wolverine loses. I think I got the stream working again. There we go. Illumi versus Chrollo versus Hisoka free for all in Heaven's Arena. Who you got? Currently all of them. Hisoka. Well, okay, actually, if it's no, Hisoka. Hisoka probably wouldn't let Chrollo do his strategy that he did. He did when they fought, so I do think Hisoka would take that. You can unironically argue 616 Spider-Man solo. Yeah, no one disagrees, man. Do you think Uvogin's punches scale to his durability? Well, yeah. Probably. Alright, we're almost done with this video. Alright, I got everything working again.
Like, and the side effect from the attack, Killua dies, because, like, it's like Sasuke and Naruto's in combat, like, when they both launch an attack at each other, it's just a massive range. Killua just gets wiped out because he was nearby.
Now, Killua tries to sneak Uvogin from behind, and, like, you know how Feitan's, like, sword breaks on impact against Sazan? Like, Killua's hand is gonna break on impact on Uvogin's skin.
Killua's hand's gonna break, Uvogin just looks to Killua and spits a tooth out at him and one-shots him that way.
Alright. I don't think all that is happening exactly. I think Gon and Killua are pretty tough. Killua is probably smarter than Uvogin. Uvogin's a smart cookie. Uvogin's not like dumb like people think, but Killua's a pretty smart guy. I don't think they're getting like like blinked at. No, I know y'all are beaming. I get it. I mean, I think Uvogin's cracked, so you know.
That's actually pretty wild. But no, I think Killua is like strong. I think he might be able to like scratch Uvogin, but like Uvogin's still in that like upper echelon of the series where he might actually have like physically superior stats to even the Zoldyx. So
Man's been dead for a while and still managed to get upscaled somehow.
Yep. You know, like all those Kakuzu feats from Naruto.
Nah, he's what Kakazu should have been.
Yep. But yeah, then I think we both agree that Uvogin wins pretty confidently.
Yeah. Like I just don't see what Gon and Killua are doing. Like maybe one of you guys might come up with a strategy for them. I don't know. Oh, I was gonna say they just need Godspeed or like the adult form to beat Uvogin right now.
Yeah. And then moving up to the last tier, which is pretty confident W's for the troop, is gonna be Illumi first up. Illumi just like scales to Hisoka, who scales to Crollo, so I'm pretty sure that's like all that really needs to be.
Before we go over this last bit, I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick because I feel like I'm gonna have a lot to say about this section. So I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Man, that sandwich looks lonely, and that's sad. So let Jimmy John's fix that by adding free chips and a free drink. Turn an 8-inch sandwich or wrap into a combo for free after 2 p.m. Only at Jimmy John's.
I swore I would never again fail to protect someone. I've come too far to let you stand in my way! Now, take my hand.
right one.
It's yummy, it's frothy, it's delicious. It is that sweet, I guess so.
Sabrina's brown sugar shaken espresso, only at Dunkin'.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. I had to go grab something. I had to get a couple things ready for later because I'm having some people over tonight.
This ain't your stream. What are you doing back here?
What are you talking about? Were you keeping the guests distracted for me, or?
No.
No. No.
No. No.
No. Come on. All right. Let me respond to a couple chats before we get back into this.
Cypher donated $2. When's the next chapter of the Bones Jones manga?
Thank you, Cypher. Unfortunately, the Bones Jones manga got discontinued by Shonen Jump. But he will make an appearance in the Super Eian fanfic. So stay tuned.
That's what one did with Boros.
You mean Gums?
No, Boros.
What are you talking about?
Boros was like a character he drew as a child for his childhood comic.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how like Gums existed in Makai no Osan or something.
Huh.
About Star Level Boros, Collapsing Star, Roaring Cannon, Star, Large Star. No, it's not, man. Oh, ads have been playing. It's not, man. The star level statement's a mistranslation, man.
How fast is Bones Jones?
How fast is Bones Jones? Bones Jones is he's precisely 32 meters per second. Puff already spending my super chat. He's eating Taco Bell tonight. Nah, man. I'm going to Cane's if I'm going to spend that kind of money.
Why would you ever spend
the One Punch Man compass, which was overseen by Murata, and I think one states that Boris Star collapsing cannon can obliterate a star. Yeah, they would have looked at the Japanese version. And the Japanese version doesn't say star. It says celestial body. Little random, but Bart above Lisa in The Simpsons as a character. I haven't seen The Simpsons. Does anyone know what game this Pokemon music is from? It's from the 5th generation. You literally go translate it yourself. You don't believe him. Boros can destroy a star.
No.
Huh? It's the headcanon man over here.
Because it's called can't. Oh, okay, can't. He said can't. Never mind. Sakuna versus Merwin.
I made a whole video about that.
Yep. Should go check it out. It's a good video.
It was a pretty good video.
It's Penola of Large Planet level.
If Boros is, then apparently he is too.
Benolanov. What's the argument?
He made it. His planet. His move is called Jupiter.
Makes sense. Yuji versus Adult Gon. You got that, bro.
Yuji versus Adult Gon. Which version of Yuji?
I assume peak Yuji, since it's literally Adult Gon. End of series, yeah.
I'm thinking. I want to say Gon.
By the way, Prof, can you test something for me real quick?
What is
or
it?
rather, just listen. Can you hear the video I'm playing on my phone through the mic?
No.
Alright, cool. Coolio.
I think you downplayed Meruem and was more generous to Sukuna. How did I downplay Meruem? I can understand why someone might think I was generous to. I can understand why someone might think I was more generous to Sukuna, but I'm taking UG if we use domain scaling. Yeah, I guess that's true. I can understand why you might think I was generous to Sukuna, but I don't know how you could say I downplayed Meruem. I went with like the only good feat in the series.
I mean, you did say that, like, actually no, you said that Sukuna would post rows on their own. I misremembered.
Yeah, no, I take Yuji. You can go translate it yourself if you don't believe him.
The kanji is just Hoshi. The kanji is the same that says like released Boros as planetary. It's the same. It's the same kanji. So like
because of Gyo and Ko multipliers, but you can't give that to Meruem for some reason because that's not how it works. Meruem didn't destroy a mountain with a normal punch. He used a blast. You can't prove that Ko or Gyo would apply to that.
Ian versus Eugene Adokon. I feel like Ultra Instinct Ian could solo like JJK and Hunter x Hunter at the same time.
Well, he solos One Punch Man, so he does solo that verse. Those verses also.
Yeah.
Boros data book Japanese. I want to see if I can find it actually.
I just say the Roaring Cannon is planetary.
Yeah, but then people will like. There's people like non-user that say that's not true. So I don't just want to.
Yeah, but like I don't.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's not true because it's a mistranslation.
I was figuring out how to word what I was gonna say. I don't know. I just feel like planetary is the most consistent thing.
It is.
Unless you're like a manga purist. What about Super EI and only 139 times stronger than base versus Yuji and Adult Gon? Well, normal EI and beats up Yuji and Adult Gon. So. Like the EI that fights evil and like gums, stuff like that. I feel like normally he would just beat up Yuji and Adult Gon, no?
If it says release Boros' playing level and they use star for this collecting star Roaring Cannon, that's logically not a mistranslation. That's not true. Mistranslation isn't like something someone intentionally makes. It's an error, and people make errors.
The reason they could have used or translated the kanji to star if the previous one said planet is probably just their own interpretation of how much stronger Boros should be with the Roaring Cannon. It doesn't mean it's like actually star level because it's the same kanji. Where do you skill in terms of AP and speed? Cross first, I forget. You got that wrong.
Large town level, relativistic to the speed of light.
Yeah, I think that's right. Possibly mountain level, depending on some things, but you know.
I don't go with that. Who you got between Meruem versus Deep Sea King? There can be 2 rounds, pre-rows, post-rows. Probably Meruem. Alright, let's finish up the video before I get distracted too much. I think Meruem wins both rounds, BTW. That's what I was saying. Bro, I love this image so much.
Because it's true, the generals suck.
At least Melzgar does. Oh, let's turn that back on. Let's get back to this video.
Hello?
Yo. All right. Let's finish this.
Be said. You can also argue that Killua is like scared of Illumi, but that might just be like him not wanting to fight
PTSD.
family members, PTSD, like you said. Yeah, like there are like multiple explanations. But even then, like I still think Illumi would just be like above him.
Yeah, I think like Killua needs Godspeed to beat Illumi. The thing is with like Illumi, Hisoka, and Crollo is they all scale to a one-shot tier when it comes to Chimera and Squadron leaders because they scale a one-shot level higher. You can try and make the argument for Gon that he does because he is able to make someone who can fight Chimera and Squadron leaders terrified for death, but you can't really make that argument fully because they don't actually one-shot a Squadron leader.
Yeah, Morel also, like, physically, he's not really taking, like, full power attacks from squadron leaders, like the stronger ones. Cheeto, obviously, he does take a bunch of attacks from him, but he's kind of weak physically.
Yeah, so, like, his Nen abilities are trash, because he's...
Well, the thing, Eternal Flame, no, I did not, I didn't get to the Hisoka section, the Hisoka Crollo Illumi section at all before I left. The thing is if you're gonna use like Chi2 as like a lower level squadron leader to say that like Morel maybe doesn't scale to them very much, then it's like, well, the reason these guys scale the squadron leader level is because Silva one-shot Chi2. I'm guessing that's what you guys are getting at. And so, you know, it's like they scale to the same Chimera Ant that Morel scales to. Now they scale better, yeah. I don't know if I'd fully say that like, oh, they can one-shot any squadron leader, but like, you know, they are in a physical tier above them for sure. And that can one-shot some of them for sure, but all of them, I'm not 100% sure.
Bad with Nen.
Yeah. So overall, like Hisoka, Crollo, and Illumi should still win pretty confidently against base Gon and Killua. I feel like Hisoka would be a little too happy with the matchup though. Like getting to fight Gon and Killua at the same time, he might actually. I don't want to talk about that.
He's gonna let them get stronger.
He's gonna like let them like pummel him, and then Killua's just gonna like rip out his heart off guard or something. I don't know.
That's our only win con.
Yeah, Hisoka's just too distracted doing Hisoka things.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, like Gon and Killua do surprisingly well, but they do still lose out to at least the top 3 or 4, with Feitan being very debatable in my opinion.
Yep, I agree with that. It's still impressive because this is only us talking about them in base form.
Yeah.
In their transform states, they get a lot higher. Like they might just solo the entire. Gon especially.
Yeah,
Gon especially solos the Phantom Troop.
But like, if you take the entire Phantom Troop, okay, I'm gonna piss some people off, but take the entire Phantom Troop, turn them all into Crollos, like 13 Crollos. That Jajanken is still just disintegrating all of them.
One-shotting them all. Because, like, the thing about Pito's statement of Gon might be able to bear his fangs into the king, this is before they see Jajanken.
Oh,
this is just normal Gon's attacks.
Well, Pito is smart enough to make the calculation, considering Pito has already seen Jajanken from earlier Gon. So, Pito could probably make a similar deduction as well.
Like, people forget that. Pito doesn't know what Jajanken is.
Yeah, he's just like a one-shot tier above Meruem, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of far-fetched, but at the same time, it's kind of not. Especially if you consider like Gon speed as well. I went over this in my Netero versus Gon video, but Gon
Go watch
speed
his
might
speed.
actually be scalable.
Oh snap! Hold on, my video's lagging. My video's tweaking out. Can y'all still hear me? Y'all can still hear me, right? Oh, what up? Lilo's Adventures in the chat today. What up, Lilo? We are reacting to Satori YouTuber, his Gon and Killua versus Phantom Troop. Fantasy Warzone, that's like a large town level feat, by the way. You can hear me, but not the video. The video is lagging out for some reason. All right, should be working now.
To like Meruem tiers and above because of the whole blitzing Pito.
Hold up. One of my neighbors is going by. One sec. One of my neighbors is outside. One sec, guys. All right, I'm back. I asked if you could go somewhere else. I'll turn the gain down a little bit so it won't be as loud too. Satori heavily downplaying the troops, said Bonolanov was fodder, but I don't know how far off that was, but it is interesting because I was just watching Lilo's stream where he did Killua versus the Phantom Troop, and he thinks that like he said that Killua versus Bonolanov was like they talked about it for a while. I don't exactly remember what Lilo's opinion on it was. But it is interesting, the dichotomy, the two very, very, very different opinions about how strong Bonolanov is. All right, we got a minute left.
Can still like somewhat see Netero's moves, but she just cannot see Gon's moves at all. And then Meruem is like barely able to follow Netero's after image, so Gon might just be faster than Meruem.
I've heard that argument before. I don't like that argument too much because it assumes that Pito had their perception compressed against Gon as well, which I don't think is true. So unproved. Or the other thing is we didn't see like adult Gon from Pito's perspective. We just kind of like we just saw like Pito's reaction at the end. So we just don't know, unfortunately. Bonolanov got that aura on the Black Whale. Only thinks he would lose to Hisoka because Bunjigum is a bad stylistic matchup. Yeah, but Bonolanov can just might not know how strong Hisoka is. It's possible that Jupiter is OP AF, but he doesn't necessarily know how strong Hisoka is.
Killua scales to this in speed because he's able to keep up with post-mortem Nenpito.
Yeah, if you want details on God Killua, feel free to check out Flame's video. It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a ton of fun to record. Thank you, Eternal Flame, for requirement.
Happy to be here.
But yeah, this was a ton of fun to record. Thank you, Eternal Flame, for coming on.
Happy to be here.
And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We shall see you next time. Goodbye.
All right.
Killua beats Hisoka.
Oh, spicy, spicy. He threw that jab in there at the end. If you take the baseline 2,000 foot tall standard for mountains, the feat is either large town level or city level. Where do you scale Darkshine in terms of AP and speed at Y? Mountain level, because Rover has a overgrown Rover attacking Garo was calculated at mountain level, so it's mountain level plus. I stand by on that jab. Damn! Oh, he's on the business. Nah, Eternal Flame. I think Hisoka would take it against Killua, to be honest. I think that once you get to people of Crollo and Hisoka's caliber, you're looking at people that are too physically powerful for Godspeed to really be able to do that much against people of that caliber. Like, he could do a lot of damage, but they should be active enough to where they could probably win. Scaling off of Hinrei believing that Hisoka on his own versus the entire Phantom Troop, a clash between the two greats of our generation. To be fair, I don't think that Hinrei necessarily thought that literally meant like a straight up brawl, because Hinrei is a mafia member. He knows that a lot of their work, a lot of their job relies in deception, subterfuge, things of that nature. So Hinrei is aware. Hinrei probably knows that Hisoka is not just going to jump the entire Phantom Troop at once. And even the Phantom Troop isn't planning on that. I think the way he's viewing it is that this is it's a war. You know, it's not a battle. There's going to be many battles of this war. I feel they are a lot closer than I used to, though. And that is fair. The reason why is because I can see it being possible for Killua to speed blitz, take the heart. I just don't know if Killua has the attack potency to like rip through Hisoka with one blow. I just don't think so. It's unfortunate because all of his attack potency feats are against the Royal Guard. Crollo could defeat the troop on his own? I mean, low key. Most of them. But then it's like Crollo plus the troop versus Hisoka, and then I'm like, maybe not so much. I didn't downplay Darkshine at all. Darkshine ain't small town level, Brewski. All right. So at some point today, we are going to oh, there you go. I muted the wrong tab. At some point, we are going to do an A-class hero tier list because JJJJ requested it. And JJJJ is paying my bills. Are you reacting to more videos now? Not at the moment, but if we get enough donations, if enough people ask, technically, I said that I wouldn't do a video unless I got $100 in donations today. But if we get enough donations, it doesn't need to add up to $100. A-class ranking, yeah, Dole will be here for that. Dole will be here for that. I'll react to stuff if I get enough of a reason to, I guess. But we're gonna take a small break before we do the A-class hero tier list. We're just gonna chit chat for a minute while I do a couple computer things over here. So Dole, even though you don't know anything about Hunter x Hunter, what do you think of that video, huh? Dole? Hello, sir? Oh, he's gone. I've been getting Discord notifications. Oh, it's been from you. All right, let me get Tier Maker ready, just so it's ready. Tier maker. Tier maker. Yeah, overall, I think that that video overall was pretty. Prof, do you play or scale Fallout? No, I don't. I'm too busy playing Halo, and I might power scale Halo, but I mean, I don't actively. Yo, can you hear me, Dole? Oh, hold on. I need to unmute you for the stream. You're technically muted right now. Oh, I should probably unmute the music too. Actually, no. If I unmute the music, oh, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, chat. How does Dole sound right now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I told you like 5 times I can hear you.
I did not hear any of that. It's crazy. But yeah, Shattered and me are getting into Halo as well, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be too busy focused on Kengan and Baki to like do that. But
Halo's a side thing for me. I'm mostly just playing the games and like kind of absorbing what Shattered tells me. So I'm locking in with Kengan right now as well.
Prof, if you make Baki and Kengan videos, could you possibly do Yujiro versus Kuroki? To be honest, I mean, I could maybe, like, I could go over it for sure. I think for the most part, Baki versus Oma will just go over like everything about Baki versus that, because you know.
Yujiro versus Kuroki is spite, by the way.
Why?
Just Yujiro slams.
Like, why
though? He's just generally more skilled, stronger, faster. I mean, like in general, I would consider, at least from what I know, I would consider Baki just better than Kengan in every regard.
Who says Krollo could beat the whole troop on his own? If he proved that, then he said prep. I mean, I wouldn't just say common sense, but like Krollo's feats are just in an upper echelon compared to the Phantom Troop. Complete upper echelon. Except Feitan, maybe. Actually, Lilo, that's not necessarily true. He's not scared of Hisoka without prep. He said that he needs prep to comfortably fight Hisoka, to be fair. Reacting to that video took so much longer than I was expecting.
By the way, how do we pronounce your name? If
No,
there's a way to
just
pronounce
keep calling just keep calling that. That's his name.
it. It hurts my jaw. It hurts my jaw.
But yeah, Krollo might have 3 postmortem nens right now. Well, I don't. I've heard you explain that before. I don't feel too strongly about it. Just because Krollo not saying he doesn't, just Krollo doesn't need to explicitly say he doesn't have those net abilities anymore, though. You know, because he was only answering Shizuku's question about one thing. It's not like Shizuku was like, "Hey, do you still have?" He just wasn't. He was just answering Shizuku's question about the fortune telling ability, and Jimmy John's, and Krollo probably doesn't want to talk about Shalnark and Kortopi also because he's extremely depressed too. To be fair. YouTuber name